That's the City of Ontario Police Department. That's group stalking. And that police department is going to be disbanded and they're going to federal prison. It's currently 12:32 p.m. And I want to show you the environment where you know that the people of the state, all 33 units in this building right here, under the fake sun that's right over my head. Okay, this is super, that the sun, which this is not the sun because it stays here for 11 hours in the day. Okay, and at the documented sunrise at 7:18 right here at the tree, it's 12:32 in the afternoon. That's not the sun, that would still be at the same location. Okay, second of all, this is not sunlight. And the position of this light source directly above me is not the explanation for the flat engineered light that creates the pattern of what it touches and moves inward underneath the door. That's not sunlight. Okay, that's engineered light. That's the environment where a demon-possessed terrorist organization that masquerades as a police department is engaging in group stalking. They're documented engaging in traditional stalking in helicopters, literally following me from place to place. And they're also engaged in group stalking, which is incriminating the people of the state who are also demon-possessed, engaging in state surveillance, acting in furtherance of the state's conspiracy to murder and kidnap me, which Tracy Banks is fully engaged in and has been for years. The entity that is acting through that demon flying that helicopter at 12:32 p.m., that name's going to be produced in the prosecution of the state, and they're going to federal prison. Mike LORENZ is not a chief of police. He's going to be removed from the position that he holds. The Ontario Police Department is not a legitimate agency, a law enforcement agency. They're going to be disbanded for not only engaging in group stalking, facilitating group stalking, engaging in federal stalking, but engaging in the ongoing repeated acts of kidnapping while engaging in state surveillance, seeking to kidnap and criminally defame while they're engaging in group stalking, never having any probable cause, never having any reasonable suspicion whatsoever. These are demons that were monitoring my evidence, enforcing my rights, never having violated the law. They made up information and kidnapped me, and then engaged in this system with the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department and the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, many of whom are judges who are going to federal prison, kidnapping with this corrupt entity. All 33 units, everybody in this building and everybody inside of this building are going to federal prison for what you just saw, group stalking by the state. That's a threat to your life. It's also a threat in the specific environment, which you see the fake sun, it stays here, it sets here. At 6:27, this fake sun is still here. That's never at Alvarado Gardens, but at Alvarado Gardens, you saw this same exact specific environment and stalking in helicopters. Dominic Choi, also the same exact analysis, not a chief of police. The entire Alvarado Gardens apartment complex is going to federal prison, every single last one of them. And the Los Angeles Police Department is facing what is an exposure for being another terrorist organization. This is the peephole. This is the property where I'm documenting, and the document entitled WSA-The People. The entity is engaging in what is terrorism via the demon in number 55, who lives directly above, who's walking, creates amplified audible activity and engineered light while she's in relevant position above, acting with that corrupt police department in furtherance of the conspiracy to murder and kidnap. Also engaged in federal stalking. As I document on my phone, published on the internet, this demon engages in more and more amplified audible activity. While this demon is pacing above my head, the sound of crackling walls and ceiling, that's not naturally occurring. That's a demon that is engaging in what is legally referred to as harassment and terrorism as an entity, in concert with those demons stalking in helicopter, flying over a senior citizen complex, doing so with knowledge of the fact that I'm documenting on the inside of this apartment, which is not, by the way, a private residence. All 33 units, everybody in this building and everybody in this building right in front are engaging in 24-hour surveillance. They're in the path on behalf of the state, who does not have any warrant or probable cause to engage in the criminal system of group stalking that they're currently engaging in. That's why you saw them stalking under the fake sun in engineered light. This has nothing to do with sunlight. You see the light source outside? This is engineered light that's piercing above closed blinds. The blinds are closed. This is impossible to have any, I need you to see these vertical blinds. There's no sunlight that's going to appear on the ceiling. And it creates my shadow as I move my hand around. And this is where a demon in 55 acting as the entire state. This is the state. The entity is engaging in tag team conduct where the demon of 55 amplifies all the demons in relevant position, maintain the elements of monitoring together with real-time knowledge of everything that's being documented. And under the fake sun, through a peephole, okay, you have engineered light that is magnified, okay, and concentration, and it's appearing in the depths of the apartment. And that's also what I'm documenting while the demons are stalking right over the apartment, okay. This is the engineered light as I walk in it. This is coming through the peephole. Okay, the demons that are group stalking that like to do so in helicopters, those specific demons are going to federal prison. And there's years of this corrupt police department engaging in terrorism and group stalking, not only because these are demon possessed, obsessed actors, these are state actors, but because they are literally hostile as I expose their criminal conduct and their condition. Demons don't like the fact that you identify them, and that secret condition is not supposed to be known. Satan does not like it. Very hostile. And Satan engages in more conduct. So this is, again, the amplification of what is walking. The amplification of following me from room to room, and you know this beyond a shadow of a doubt, legally relevant, you know this, the conspiracy amongst the people in the state, based on clear and convincing evidence, by the way, based on the impossible light activity that's inside of the apartment. And the entity is already established beyond a reasonable doubt that they are indeed engaged in what is surveilling me, acting. And why does a government engage in group stalking, including through helicopters with an entire population? Because they are actively trying to oppress you, to silence you, to exploit the authority that they have while masquerading as a legitimate authority under the law. They don't have it because they're stalking. They're engaging in what is kidnapping when they engage in any arrest. They're engaging in what is defamation as they place any charges or as they commit you, okay, with regard to mental illness. That's criminal defamation. That's why it's a conspiracy to murder and kidnap, which is what group stalking is about. It's demonic activity. And everybody is group stalking with the demon in 55, who is the chief means of amplified audible activity, in addition to the demons of the Ontario International Airport flying over the senior citizen complex in what is engineered light. I want you to see light on the floor right here. In order for me to walk through, the demons are engaged in ongoing criminal presence while a means of touching me incessantly with light through the peephole on the wall in the kitchen. Impossible light activity, moving around. You saw me aim it on the camera. It would aim the camera on the wall. It's up here, and now it is over here as I walk through it. There you see. Okay, that's engineer light coming through a peephole. That's not sunlight, nor is that the sun. And you're looking at engineer light going in all manner of directions. This is where a corrupt police department is devoting its operations to where I am and what I'm doing as I do it. That's exactly what the population is doing. Okay, you are looking at another community, which this community has been engaged in criminal summoning. This entity has been engaged in kidnapping. This entity has been engaged in criminal defamation. So I want to be clear, these 33 units are the bare minimum of who's going to federal prison, and they act with impunity and malice. They are still to date, which is going to be specifically noted in federal court hearings that are going to be had. And it will be noted that up until that moment where they anticipated going to court and this being exposed, they were still engaging in trying to murder and kidnap, still engaged in that ongoing criminal conspiracy, together with knowledge, which is relevant to the enhancement of federal charges and sentencing and the damages that Avanath Capital Management LLC specifically is going to be prosecuted for, civilly and criminally prosecuted. Okay, the ongoing crackling of the ceiling is amplified audible activity, and this is engineer light, which is occurring for monitoring. The magnified light that's occurring in the depths of the apartment, again, to touch, while a demon is following from room to room. And this is the entity that has what I've already shown you, the engineer light that's occurring inside here. This is impossible light activity. It's underneath a structure. First of all, this isn't even the sun. It's rising and setting at Alvarado Gardens. It's remaining over me and San Diego, Fairfield by Marriott, et cetera, et cetera. You've seen the body of evidence. Also, sunlight does not appear under structures like this. This is a patio. The sun that's not going to be present at one address, rising and setting, is also not creating what is sunlight that appears underneath covered structures. This is where a demon-possessed terrorist organization, not a law enforcement agency, is group stalking, not engaging in anything that is legitimate or lawful regarding the execution of the duties of police officers. This is the entity, the state of California, that is indeed engaged in the pattern of conduct, as I've shown you in Nevada. I've shown you in being in Riverside County, Los Angeles County, San Diego County. The entity is maintaining the pattern of conduct, as I'm showing you, the fake sun, impossible to reconcile with remaining rising and setting at Woodside Senior, one address in Ontario, on literally over this strip of the property in Ontario at Woodside, where the entity is keeping the fake sun over me in Bakersfield and Kern County. Okay, this is I've gone all these places and shown you what is the P.O.C. This is where demons are stalking in helicopters, which is a hallmark. This demon in 55 is going to federal prison. She's over 55 years old. She acts with impunity. She acts as the state. The entire neighborhood in relevant position, they are all being documented. They will be prosecuted for domestic terrorism with the state, in the shoes of the state. This is engineer light that's in a shaded room with the blinds closed. Out here, in the same way that you're looking at what is the ongoing means of engineer light that fills the apartment, where stalking in helicopters is an instrumental and identifying aspect of the pattern of conduct that the people of the state are engaging in. This engineer light is demonic. Of audible activity, which is still ongoing while I'm capturing evidence. This demon is amplifying while pacing around. This is the state that is monitoring in real time as the evidence of their criminal conduct is being captured on video. Do not miss that, because they're going to be prosecuted for that. That's called impunity. And that's the character of the system of group stalking, which is the public safety concern. You need to know that the demon possessed are obsessed, and they engage in more ongoing, incessant criminal violence. And that is what is relevant regarding what the Lord Jesus allowed to happen to me, so that I can let you know about what Satan is doing at this time amongst the corrupt government in the U.S. All right. It is currently, again, 12:42 p.m. Everybody is going to federal prison, as the Ontario police are group stalking at the facilitating venue, not a private residence, in conformity to a long documented pattern of conduct. This is P.O.C. It's 12:42. And I also want to point this out. While I'm subject to a sex offense, being touched with engineered light's not even naturally occurring light, touching all over my body because you're obsessively stalking. This is where the city of Ontario is admitting to engage in what is a malicious means of group stalking as the state, and everybody engaging in this means is going to federal prison. And by the way, you'll see the names of the corrupt demons that are sitting on a corrupt government body, including Alan D. Wapner, whose airport operations he's the president over. This is a demon engaging in what are, as an additional means, the city of Ontario is engaged in group stalking, and posting this on Tracy Banks' door, who lives at the facilitating venue, is the city of Ontario engaging in a malicious means to engage in group stalking on behalf of the government that's stalking in helicopter. I need you to understand how all these facts work together. Everybody engaging in this, which they've done for years. I've documented this before. They're going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. It is currently 12:43, where the peephole is a means of engineered light in the kitchen appearing and disappearing. Okay, it's still there very subtly. The point is that it's never going to be there. It's never going to be the sun. It's never going to be sunlight. That's P.O.C. Let's end it with the light source here, because this is where you see the Ontario PD group stalking 5 hours later, while that fake sun is still in alignment with me. All right, after 5 p.m., after 6 p.m. This is P.O.C. That's Alan D. Wapner's Ontario International Airport. That's amplified audible activity over a senior citizen complex under the fake sun and engineered light with impunity, and they are going to federal prison. Every airline's engaged in federal stalking. The Ontario International Airport's fully engaged in state surveillance, acting in furtherance to murder and kidnap someone. Demons that are flying commercial planes with the intent to psychologically harm someone, they do so with impunity while they know that they're being documented in the same way that this demon in 55 is. So I want to be clear, you are going to federal prison, where the entity will trace down the exact demons who are crawling into planes to engage in group stalking, flying over this multifamily residence in the specific environment to engage in that pattern of conduct while they are all monitoring the evidence. That's the public corruption that Alan D. Wapner, by the way, sitting on this corrupt government body, the Ontario City Council, is engaging in group stalking, and they're violent sex offenders in doing so. It's P.O.C. Yeah, this one on a walker is going to federal prison. That's called relevant positioning under a fake sun. Okay, the elderly are fully engaged in pacing. That's what you see under a fake sun. All right, that's P.O.C. Everybody in units 33 through 64, that makes up this whole apartment building and the building that I'm inside of. 24-hour surveillance. These old people are not taking arrests. They are they are violent, but they're vital and healthy enough to engage in this demonic system in service to Satan on behalf of a corrupt government who is not under any circumstances discriminating with regard to the means or the age, race, etc., with regard to the elements of monitoring. You're remembering the engineered light, and then you're looking at what is pacing by a demon on a walker. This is P.O.C. It is currently 12:45 p.m.